Okay, we're gonna fold our background for our origami mandala. And all we're gonna do is make a big X on our paper. So I'm gonna take the top triangle and fold up the tip, match it, make sure you get it nice and even on each side. We want to get as close to even as possible. Now, if I just leave it like this, you can see it's not really going to lay flat. So the next thing I'm going to do is flip the paper over and fold it the opposite way. My goal is to get it right on the crease. And if you're not quite sure, it might even help for you to look at where the crease is and pinch it going the other direction. It should start to do it by itself. Just go slow and gentle. If that doesn't work, you can just fold it the other way. It's just sometimes hard to match the fold and knot now. But we're trying to bend it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it lays flat again. Okay, now my paper's laying flat. We're good. I'm gonna spin and do the other side. So, tip up, close to matching as I can. Crease it one way, and then I'm gonna crease it back going the other way. Again, it's giving me a little bit of trouble, so I'm actually gonna look at where the fold is and pinch it that way. This works better for me. You fold it back and forth however works best for you. Now it's still kind of sticking up, so I'll fold it. Each time you fold it back and forth, it gets a little bit easier. Until it just lays flat. So you have a nice big X on your paper. Now we need to start folding our small pieces of origami. And I'm gonna make this one to start. So once again, for this basic fold, I'm going to move this to the side. For this basic fold, all I need to do, oh, and because this is white on the other side, you want to make sure that you have things folded the way you want. So there's going to be some white and some red to this piece of origami. So I either am going to have it like this, where you just see the triangle red up here, or I can fold it this way, and the bottom half will be red. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that way. So first thing, I'm going to fold it in half, like this. And I can tell that this isn't matching. I need to bring the corner up to meet, like that, and unfold it. Then I'm going to take each edge and bring it in to meet in the middle, right there. Same thing here. I'm going to take this edge and have it bend and meet in the middle. I need to make 4 of these. Now that I have 4 basic folds, I'm going to arrange them on my background so you kind of see where I want them to go. It's like that. I think I like that. Or they could go a different way. You can play around with how they look. They're not going to sit flat against your paper right now. That's all right. Just kind of edge them close to where you want them to be. And you can kind of see how much space you have left. So I picked out 4 bigger yellows for the next step. I'm going to do the very simple fold where I'm folding it in half. Now the bigger ones don't have a white side. They are colored on both sides, so you don't have to really pay attention to what direction you're folding. So remember the basic fold 2, I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to take the corners and the corners of the one that's open and fold it up to meet the center line. So I should have a nice triangle right on the edge, and the edge should meet with this one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. Okay, so there's another basic fold. I'm going to make 4 of these. Okay, so now I have 4 of these. And the reason I didn't glue these yet is because I might change my mind about how things are going to sit. So I could put these here. And my paper's going to stick up. That's kind of what we want. We want this origami to be a little 3-dimensional. So again, I know these aren't sitting very flat, but they will later. So it could be like that, or I could maybe slip them in and overlap my shapes like that. That might be kind of interesting. You just have to be patient at this stage because I know your papers are going to move all around on you and you're going to have trouble getting them to stay in the right spot. Just be patient. So as I'm building, I'm kind of thinking about the folds I already made and where they could go. I want to make more of these. I think I want to do some more long ones coming out with a different color, and I'm going to put one of those squares right in the center. So the square, and I make the X. I start with the X like I did for my background. Open, fold and open. And then I'm going to fold each one to the center. Okay, so this one I'm going to place in the center. But just because it's like this doesn't mean it has to go in the center. You could make a whole bunch and stick them around in a pattern as well, okay? Once you've made a few different ones, if you're comfortable with the way everything is situated, you can start to glue. But gluing is a little tricky. I have to look at what's at the bottom. Just because the red is in the center doesn't mean it's on the bottom. Underneath the red, I have the yellow. Instead of gluing these separately and then gluing it on top, I'm going to glue this together and then glue it down like this. Yes. So for gluing the first step, I don't need to put glue all over the whole back. I just need to put glue on half of this. Now because we're going to be doing so much gluing with small pieces, we're going to be getting paper towels. You might get a messy mat, depends on what we're doing in class. But there'll be something so our tables don't get incredibly sticky. Oops, just made that sticky. Okay. Just on this part. That's enough. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want enough so that it will stick. I need to make sure it's right in the center when I glue it. And now, this is like one whole piece that I can glue down together. Cool. Next, now that these guys are all glued, I'm gonna glue them together. And actually, I put them in the wrong place and that kind of looked cool too. So, I had them going this direction. And they're a little easier to move around now, like that. But I actually accidentally put them this way. And that looks pretty cool. I might have to use this somewhere else because I like that way better. Always good not to glue right away because you never know, right? So I think I'm gonna glue it that way. All right, so I gotta find the center again. I use my little paper towel or mat, flip it over, and this time I'm gonna make sure I put glue all over the back. Don't do a little bit. This is a lot of folded paper. it's going to be flopping around. Everybody should have glue that's purple at this point. If you don't, you're going to have to look kind of sideways to see if it's shiny. Make sure there's glue everywhere. That's the purpose of purple glue. You can see where the glue is. I have a diagonal line right here. I'm going to try and match it right in the corner here, right in the center. And I'm going to match this corner right along that folded line I have here. Right, and the top should still stick up. If you see a little bit of purple glue on the top, that's okay, because this glue dries clear. Doesn't matter if you can see a little bit of glue on the top, you won't see it later. Watch where your glue is going, because if you get glue in too many places, it's going to be really hard to fold. So manage it, use the paper towel. If your fingers get real sticky, you can wipe them on the paper towel. We'll have some wet paper towels at the table too in the bin. You just take some of the, like a wet paper towel out to wipe your fingers off. But don't get water on the table or it's going to ruin your picture. Just wipe them when you need them. Maybe leave it way to the side so you can wipe your fingers when you need to. Don't let the water get anywhere near your paper. Okay? And try and keep the table as dry as possible. Now, when we finish for the day, you're going to have glue sticks that may have stuff on the sides of them. Please turn your glue sticks down. If there's a bunch of junk on the side, just use your already sticky paper towel. Wipe off the extra before you put the cap on. Our glue sticks get bad so quickly because we can't close them all the way. There's so much extra glue. Put these away. This is going to be sticky. So depending on how it feels during cleanup, if it is sticky, it is not going to go in your portfolio. I will either tell you to put it on the drying rack, or we'll put it on the ledges if maybe they're a little too puffy to fit on the drying rack. Don't put something sticky in your folder.